Hey there, it's Hold Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga program, and it's Q here, and today this is going to be maybe a short video. How often do I say that and it's not a short video? Maybe this will be like a 5-minute video, or I could just sit here for 4 minutes.
This computer will rule the world.
Today, I want to talk about something I was made aware of recently. Kind of stumbled onto it, fellow Amiga friends, Chris Edwards, and he introduced me to the Amiga Game Selector, which is a program. It's like a front end that's designed for, what could I say? It's designed for real Amigas. It's designed for like Pis and emulators and other hardware like little Amiga minis. And it's like a GUI or a graphic system, and it gives you a front end for it. Just a very simple, pleasing interface that you can just use your actual game controller. You don't have to use mouse and keyboard. It just boots right up. You don't go into Workbench. It boots right up into this menu, and you can very easily, with kind of a slick little interface, you can select your games and just and play them. And it's brilliant on devices like the CD32 or maybe like the little Amiga 500 Mini, I guess. So just what I'm saying is, like, if you have devices that aren't full, kitted out with the keyboard and the mouse, you don't want to go into Workbench, you don't want to launch iGame. If you just want to turn it on and it works. Now I know there's other things out there that do this, but this was one of the simplest ones I've ever used. You know me, I'm not a tech person. I screw stuff up all the time. And as always, the disclaimer with this channel, nothing I say is ever accurate, or I don't give you the complete information. We all know that by now. All you who watch my channel know that by now. I do try. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but I make mistakes a lot, or I don't get all the information because I'm just an Amiga fan person. You know, I just grew up with these things, doing animation in 3D and a little bit of gaming, and I get really excited about it. And that's why I started this whole channel in the first place and have all these computers, because it's just fun. I do know that this was very easy for me to do. Wrote the image to a card, popped it in my CD32, and off we went. Now, there was one thing I did have to do. What doesn't the CD32, or should I say, what doesn't my CD32 have? A floppy drive. So you have to edit the startup sequence if you don't have a floppy drive, and just remove the entry for add buffers for DF0. And that way it doesn't get hung up trying to ask you for DF0 on boot. There's one other little thing trying to figure out, Chris was kind of working on this too. It would be really interesting to try and find how to configure it, the hotkey, to use the CD32 button. This is specific to the CD32, but the CD32 kind of like, Xbox button to quit the game that you're playing. Right now, I'm having issue trying to find out how to quit the game with the controller. Now, it could just be me being stupid and not reading everything properly. Maybe there's some kind of keyboard, mouse combo, or keyboard or mouse combo. Maybe there's some kind of combination of buttons you can smash to make it do it. But for now, how my CD32 is set up, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, I have a keyboard and I just hit escape or F10 to get out of the the WHD load style game. So enough of me yapping about it, enough of you looking at my face. Let me just show you this really cool interface and how it works. All right, here we are. We are in front of my amazing, here, let me show you here instead of just talking about it. Sorry for the bounce, but here's my CD32 setup. You can see down there I've got my gamepad and my keyboard. There's a mouse down there, along with some magazines and Imagine. And then I have it connected to this really big, awesome Dell Ultra Sharp via S-Video. And yep, S-Video, you heard me right. I really like how S-Video looks on this monitor. My CD32 is PAL, so the majority of the games are going to be PAL. And this monitor handles it awesomely over S-Video. So let's go ahead and show you how fast this does actually boot. Now, when it does boot, it has another little neat trick it does. It plays some cool music, like some nice little menu music, I guess you could call it. I've got the volume turned down because I don't want to blow out my own audio, so I'm going to go down now here and just flip the switch. Switch is flipped. There it goes. Let's see how quick this is. It's not too bad. We got the little light flickering on the CD32. CD32. It's the coolest thing in the world. So here you go. You get that really nice, pretty menu screen. And then, yeah, man, the music starts playing. Ooh. So can you see that okay? All right there. So you see here we've got a big list of games. I know it looks very familiar, right? Kind of similar to iGame, but The amazing wizard, Paul Vince, puts this all together for us. And I'm sure he's got many testers helping him out. But yeah, using just the CD32 gamepad here, I'm going through and just clicking game. Ooh, adult. Oh yes, adult. And there's a lot. And you've even got magazines in here, documentations. You got different, and here's the cool thing too. I can sit here and tell you what I think these are, like filters. Oh, it must be like cool screen filters. Well, look, no, this menu lets you filter out some of the categories in the main list. So as you're going through here, he has this great little, it's like he's thought of everything, right? He has this nice little explainy thingy over here. Yeah. And then yes, there is definitely a search feature. Now, there is, wow, he's even got NTSC in here. This is pretty sweet. I'm, again, not a big Amiga game person, so this blows my mind seeing all this stuff on here. This is a lot. You know me, I kind of stick to my rotation of games I know. So what I want to try is, of course, one of my all-time favorites, because it's just fun and cool, and it mixes interlace with regular, it has awesome music. And for some reason, when I play it on my CD32, I'm really good at it. And the game I'm talking about is Agony. So we'll go down here, and we're going to search. Hey, look at that, Agony. Now again, this is a PAL CD32, but he does have the Agony US. And I'm going to go up to the Agony regular, because this is PAL. But look at this, little slideshow. Got a little information filled out down here for you. This is just super cool. I mean, I know, again, we've seen other things like this, but I cannot stress, I literally just burned an image to a card and stuck it in this thing, and it just works. I didn't have to do anything. And you can see here in the background, you've got all this, and even with the gamepad, you can actually go through here and pick stuff with the gamepad. You don't need a keyboard or mouse. This is so cool. Except for I'm trying to figure out how to quit, because it says press F10 to quit. And trying to figure out if we can map this, I said this earlier, map the play pause button maybe to quit the game for us. There might be a setting for that. But as you can see, it boots right up here. And again, I've got the audio turned down so it doesn't jump on top of me here. And this is the full PAL version on over S-Video displaying. And I'm using a 68030 with like 64 megs of RAM or something ridiculous in the CD32. It's a little Terrible Fire module. It's one of the more common modules people put in their CD32s to turn them into Amiga 1200s with a CD, or to just give them a little more speed boost for gaming and other activities. So this might look it might run a little faster. Obviously it's using a micro SD card, or I'm sorry, it's using an SD card to boot and run from, so that's going to be a little faster than a conventional hard drive. So I'm just go ahead and just clicking through here. Got all this beautiful artwork. This game always has such beautiful artwork. And yeah, press fire to start and off we go. So that's how quick and easy it is to just jump into games and other things on here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually press the play pause button just to confirm it doesn't exit the game. Yeah, so play pause does not exit the game. And I'm trying to press all the other buttons to see. That's the time freeze, yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know a way. And again, I apologize if it's my fault for not reading things or paying better attention. But yeah, you just hit, in this case, F10. And that'll take us back out here. And we go right back into the game selector. Now, one of the other neat things you can do is, I don't have a mouse right now, so it's hard to show this, but you can just click escape on the keyboard if you have a keyboard. It'll take you right into Workbench. So there's Workbench. You just saw it in the background, by the way, when we switch games, but you can go right into Workbench, and it comes with a nice complement of example software. There's a lot of familiar productivity software in there, some graphics and paint software, and document and office type software. So it's a nice little kind of sample showing of what the Amiga was. So it's a nice kind of complete package of just cool Amiga stuff. It's not just the games. Now, how do we get out? ... Go back up, and I'm going to go all the way up here. And I'm so glad this scrolly thing is this fast. That's so great. Go all the way up to the top. ... Now let's go to something a little more different, right? Something I don't always do. That's why I'm having trouble finding it. Do you see the demos? You guys that are watching this, since I'm not paying attention very well. Demos, right? There's a whole queue. Look, read right here. Demos. Demos. Pay attention to your own video you're making. So we'll do demos. We'll do, oh my gosh, I guess zero. Let's see. Oh, yes. Well, actually, I need numbers. Do they do numbers? Oh, what is zero? No, zero. Okay, yeah, numbers. So yeah, I was thinking 9 fingers, the one I know the best. Here we go. It's just loading it up, Spaceballs. And because this is a PAL, now this does have an accelerator. It does have a 6830 in it, I think. So it might be weird. I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's okay. But see this, like if you have your friends come over and they want to, you want to show them Amiga, like they're like, what's an Amiga? Or yeah, you got to come over and see this guy's Amiga. He's always talking about it. What a great, easy way to just get this up and running. Anyone can do it. A kid could do this. He could come up, flip your CD32 on, and with just the gamepad, get in here and play. With the exception of, quitting the game. I gotta get that one figured out. Hopefully somebody can leave a little comment down below that's like, Q, you big dummy, this is what you need to do to map the quit to, this, okay? Get that figured out, then we're definitely rocking and rolling. But yeah, that's basically it. Let me see if I can get out of here. Yep, so there's that workbench running in the background. And you can, the juggler. And it's, like I said, it's more than just games. You've got kind of a fully installed Amiga running in the background with Workbench. You can plug in a mouse and keyboard. So if this is not a CD32, if you want to put this on your 1200 or your 500 or your 600 or your 2000 or your 3000, you can. It's just it's your hard drive and it's gonna boot right into this automatic video game selector, demo selector, magazine selector. Awesome thing. It's so neat and it's simple. I keep trying to stress how easy this is. And it seems to work fairly well. I'm sure you're going to come across some games that aren't going to work. I mean, who's going to vet, the thousands and thousands of games and demos that are on here? I know maybe somebody did, but so don't freak out. If you try to run one and it doesn't do anything, then you're just going to have to reboot or whatever. But so far, this is super cool. Thank you, Paul. The Amiga Game System. I'll leave a link to the Facebook group in the description below. I think that's the only way to really kind of find out about it. It is a private group, so you're going to have to request to join it. But there's a lot of great people in there. They're sharing information, and this isn't just done. This is always evolving from what I can see. And I just really, really appreciate having this and all the work that's gone into it. It's made my CD32 infinitely more usable. This is exactly what I wanted to use my CD32 for, was to be able to come in here and just sit down, flip it on when friends are over, and just play games. So here's an issue. I was trying to find out how to quit this. I couldn't figure out how to quit that demo. I pressed F10 and escape, and it wasn't quitting, so I started smashing keys randomly in the keyboard and caused this to happen. I do have a keyboard though, so what can we do? 3-finger salute. And it's just like that. There we go. So yeah, at a minimum, if you can at least get a keyboard plugged into it, and how would you do that? Well, if you have the TF module for the CD32, that's where your keyboard plugs into in your RGB video. Q, why aren't you using the RGB video option? Because this is an LCD, and the interlace flicker on this thing over RGB video looks horrendous. It's just terrible. This is an interlace screen, and it wasn't flickering. The opening of Agony was an interlace screen and doesn't really flicker. In S-video mode, it just looks amazing. It almost looks like a CRT. It's hard to see maybe over the video footage on the camera, but it just has that almost CRT softness to it over S-video, and I really, really like it. Anyway, I hope this gets you guys excited. Go check it out. Grab that image file and install it on your favorite Amiga or WinUEE or Pi Amiga or Raspberry Pi, Amaberry, whatever it is. It pretty much works in any system that you can boot up, and you can have some fun. Bring your friends over, or have your pretend friends. I have lots of those. I just kind of inflate them and stick them behind me off camera. You don't really get to see this. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm done with this video.